Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Boxing 365 for
The second
the
attempt.
second. Honestly, if there's any specialists out there in audio devices or recording for YouTube videos, please get in touch. This is the second or third time now. It doesn't happen religiously. It's just randomly out of the blue. Even after we've tested stuff, that the mics just don't record. So we are doing this again after having done it this morning. When I went back home to edit it, it hadn't worked.
And we have spent the last 2.5 hours watching the boxing and
Yeah.
talking about boxing, and now we've got to watch and talk about the boxing again.
But that's not your problem. So we're going to talk through the next card, which is called Don't Blink, courtesy of Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions. It's headlined by Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois at the Co-op Live Manchester. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. If you are, thank you very much. Please make sure to like the video. It helps us reach more people, helps us grow the channel, which means eventually we might actually get paid to do this, which eventually means we'll have potentially a bit more time and resources to make these even better. So please do support the channel. Get over to TikTok and Instagram as well. So, Tom?
Are you all right?
No, I'm losing it a bit, and it's hot in here.
It is very hot in here, and
And it's
also
time on a Saturday for a beer, but we can't do that yet. So, Fabio Wardley, Daniel Dubois for the second time today, Tom. The Battle of the Email Champions, you called it earlier.
I did. I don't mean it. It just I heard it on Talksport. I did say that earlier as well. Got two guys, been there, done it. Got one guy who you all right?
Yeah.
You're picking the wood. Is it like an anxiety thing at this point?
No,
Stress related.
no, it's
You need
fine.
a stress ball.
I'm fine.
You've got Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. You've got Fabio Wardley, who is arguably the biggest puncher in boxing, against a guy who some have said lacks stomach when things get tough. And I'll be honest, I think it's hard not to make that comparison. The realism of it is very much you make your bed, you lie in it.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's true. I think we've said previously, we've said when we've talked about him before, not saying that I could get hit by Usyk and carry on. Not gonna happen. But if you're in there, you know what you signed up for. You want to win. You want to be the champion. You've taken that fight. Don't quit. And I think that's what he did. I think he quit. I think it could have been due to poor build up, whatever. They gave all the excuses, all this, all that. But the facts are, when it came time to getting back up and getting back in the fight, he was too interested in giving up. And he looked into his corner. As soon as the count went up, straight on his feet, nothing. His legs were there, eyes were clear, straight over to his corner. Nah, I'm not going back out there. That's a quit to me.
that is quit, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not always trying to be controversial, but I think from Daniel's point of view, if he has to own that. And I don't think he will own it because I don't think he knows how to own it. I think it's
No.
just that it doesn't bother him. I think he makes his decisions and he lives by them, and I think that's just the way that Daniel's wired.
Yeah.
Um, However, saying that, I do think people are underestimating Daniel in this one. Comes in as the
Yeah.
underdog. Obviously, Wardley's the world champion, so let's give him the respect he deserves. But like I said previously, I don't think Joseph Parker was as dangerous and as good as everyone was sort of highlighting him as, "Oh, he's gonna beat Usyk." It was
Mm,
I never saw that.
no.
And I know we spoke about it in some length when we had the Wardley Parker fight, but
The thing is, the more you see people lose to Usyk, the more you're looking for your next hero who's going to be better, who's going to beat him.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I think the facts are there's nobody in the heavyweight division right now that I think can beat him.
No.
I think as he ages, as he maybe loses a bit of his speed, bit of his energy,
Yeah, action time, I
then
think,
that
obviously, but
that
yeah.
somebody could creep in. But I think he will leave the sport before that happens. So I don't think we'll ever see anyone beat him.
I think Usyk's smart enough that, like you said there, I think he'll know when it's time.
Yeah,
He'll know in the gym that I'm not as quick as I used to be. I'm not as fit.
yeah.
That 10, 11, 12 rounds of sparring are hurting me more than they used to, and
Well, again, I suppose the point I was getting to there was I think fans were reaching when they were saying that Parker was going to be somebody who could go and give him a good run.
yeah.
I think that was an overreach, looking for a bit of a hero. Um, yes, Wardley won that fight. Obviously, weren't sure whether it was called too early. Obviously, not sure whether Joseph Parker had been doing cocaine. Few bits and bobs, but he won that fight. He's won his fights before that. He's earned his shot. He's got the title. Now it's for Daniel Dubois to rip it away from him. And I don't want Wardley to lose, and I
No,
don't really like Daniel Dubois personally. I just think he's a bit. I don't know. He's not my kind of person.
bit dense, isn't he?
He is. He's very dense. I think
It's a
Fabio
shame
Wardley was
it's a
bang
shame
on.
his bone density isn't as
Mm,
dense, and he could take a shot slightly better. But I don't think it's his shot a bit. I don't think it's his ability to take a shot. I think it's just the fact that he gets in his own head. I think I don't
mm,
know. It's weird.
yeah, it is. I do think Dubois has got more about. I think what Fabio's power and his size has saved him in fights, and I think he's fighting somebody who's going to be on a pretty level playing field with him
Yeah.
now in terms of that. So it's what else they've got. I do think though, if Fabio lands a big shot, knocks him down, whatever, not sure Daniel's going to have that belief to get back up. It may be different in this fight because Fabio's no Usyk,
No.
and Daniel may think to himself, no, there is still a way to win this fight. I think that's what meant that he gave up in the other fights. I think he decided, I've been knocked down now. I've not won my rounds. I'm not going to win this fight, so that's it. I'm out. But I think with Wardley, he'll see a path to victory. So even if he does get knocked down, I think he probably would stick in it.
Yeah, maybe, and I think that's what people are relying on with regards to Wardley, isn't it? That's going to come into play with
Yeah.
the whole stomach side of it. I'm not sure it will. Um, I actually think Daniel will get the job done. I don't think Wardley's ever been in there with anyone remotely that punches like Daniel Dubois.
No.
Joseph Parker, not really a puncher. Justice Hooney, definitely not. Fraser Clark, definitely not. Nathan Gorman, definitely not. I'm not being funny, but he's been in there with decent operators and fighters that probably should have beat him from an ability point of view.
Mm,
But he's not been in there with an out and out puncher like himself. And I think realistically,
yeah.
Daniel's got that one shot power, and he's got it in both hands, and he's got it in every shot he throws. So yeah, I think Daniel's gonna rip away that title and the O from
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley.
Potentially, but I do. I would say Fabio's probably got a slight edge in power and in terms of what we have been able to see. But yeah, I do think that we're probably going to see that belt passed over to
Yeah,
Mr. Dubois, unfortunately. But you never know. We'll have to see how that goes. Again, just as a heads up for everybody, based on the fact that this is being recorded for the second time in the span of about 6 hours, we probably are going to move a little bit more quickly through it. So we are going to move on to the next fight, which was David Morrell, Zach Shelley, which has sort of come out of the blue. Um, do you think it is feeding Zach Shelley to the lions a bit? I think it probably is, to be honest with you.
I think so. I think it's the fact that David Morrell needed to get out, wanted to stay active. Been waiting around for the Callum Smith fight for a little while.
Yep.
Zach,
Obviously, that couldn't happen. So
yeah, Zach Jelly's a tough, proud man. I think realistically they'd have offered him a payday, and he'll have gone, "Fuck it, I'll roll the dice."
yeah,
Um, do I see a route to victory for Zach? Nah,
not
no.
really. No.
I think it's I think it's much tougher than what the odds give it. The odds give him, I think, him as a 7-1 underdog. I think it's further than that. I think Zach's very tough, rugged, old school pressure fighter.
Yep.
But other than that, I think he gets outboxed. I think he gets out punched. He gets out moved. I think he gets outworked. The realism of it is at light heavyweight, I just don't. And it's a shame because I like Zach Jelly, but I just
Yeah.
don't see any route for Zach to win this one.
Yeah, I think you look at the level that Morel's fought at. We said previously his fight with Benavidez, probably Benavidez, one of Benavidez's most tough fights.
Yeah,
Didn't have it all his sort of own way either. Morel backed him up a few times, and we all know what we think of Benavidez. I mean, people are massively favouring him in his fight tonight against Zerdo Ramirez.
yeah,
Um, Crazy towards I know, but you think that was a good fight, competitive fight, fairly close fight.
yeah.
It's not it's no exact science, as we've said many times before, but I think I think he's going to be too much for
I
Zach
agree.
Shelley, and I think, like I say, it's basically keep him warm, don't waste your camp, keep keep fit, keep active. So when the Callum Smith's ready, he'll put that back on, or find him another fight at a world level, and that'll be that.
But this is a lottery ticket opportunity for Zach,
100%.
who has been in there, never been stopped, never been down. So it's going to be interesting. Do I expect him to be competitive? I expect him to be more competitive than people will give him credit for.
Yeah,
But I mean competitive in that I think he'll stick around longer than we will expect him
yeah.
to.
He'll stick around. He'll throw back.
Oh, he'll
You
give it a
know,
go.
he's not gonna take it lying down, sort of thing, is he?
No, God, no, no. I expect it's going to be one of them fights where he's going to try and make it as rough and scrappy as possible and try and land some shots on the inside. But
Do you think he'll see the final bell?
10 rounds, no. No, I just don't think Zach's fought anywhere near this. I mean, his best opponent that he's faced was probably Callum Simpson, who British level
Yeah.
ish.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, I'm not being funny, but he couldn't put a dint in Callum Simpson, who we've seen. We said forever that was going to be he comes against a puncher, he's there to be hurt.
mm,
Shelley hasn't got the power to worry Morel. Morel's not going to have an ounce of respect for it. And look, this is boxing. Bruno Saras was never meant to flatten Jaime Munguia.
yeah,
Shit happens.
yeah,
Does it? Don't think so. Can it? Why not?
yeah.
Someone on YouTube said that he's going to win by knockout, and I'll be honest with you. Great bet. I think it's 50-1. I'm going to roll it. Why
Yeah,
not?
roll the
Stick
dice.
£100 on it.
Roll the dice. Yeah, we sort of got a rough idea of Zach Chelly's level, and again we've got a rough idea of David Morell's level. You know, anything's possible, but I could see it being that 6th, 7th round gets too much for Chelly and gets called off. But...
Yeah, I agree.
Right, next fight: Jack Rafferty, Echo Esserman, super lightweight, 10 rounds. We had a lot to say about this one this morning.
I have less to say about it now.
Yeah, let's say about it now. I mean, Rafferty's last time out drew with Mark Chamberlain.
He did.
Prior to that, some good wins. Previously, when he fought Corey O'Regan, we were expecting that shape up to be a really good fight, and obviously he looked very dominant there and did what he said he was going to do. But his pressure and everything may not suit a fight with Echo Esserman, we said.
And this is where my point is. I think Jack's at his best when he's able to bully an opponent. When he has an opponent who doesn't want to stand and plant his feet, doesn't want to engage, doesn't want to try and push him back. We saw it a little bit against Mark Chamberlain where he wasn't able to have it all his own way. Now, there was a couple of things we spoke about earlier with this fight, which we'll cover quickly. Echo, he's 37 now, coming off of his worst defeat. Has only come to Harry Scarf, where he was outboxed in a relatively competitive, but bit of a whitewash. He got stopped by
Mm,
Jack, and he got beat up a little bit towards the end. What damage that has done to a 37-year-old Echo, it's hard to say.
yeah.
But he
He,
has been there. He's done it. He's fought at the higher level, beat Josh Taylor. So it's and whether that's the best Josh Taylor or not. Josh Taylor was an elite level operator.
yeah. We did say earlier as well that it seems like a bit of a cocktail of bad signs for Echo Esserman. Fighting at a weight that he's not normally fighting at, super light compared to his usual welterweight. Getting on a little bit in age now. Just had a bad um, result against Catterall. And then coming into a fight against somebody who is a bit of a bully and you'd argue, he's in like the prime of his career right now, Jack
100%.
Rafferty.
Yeah, physical prime, isn't
Um,
he?
it's it's a bit of a bad omen, I think, and I think it strikes me as one of those fights which is a good test for Jack, or Echoes in there to lose.
100%. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, not sure that's a good mix for me.
No. And I know we said it, and we'll briefly mention it, but Echo has always been very lean. And I don't
Mm,
mean lean as in tight at welterweight, but he's very lean. Not an
yeah,
ounce of fat.
yeah.
He's well looked
It's
after.
not got a lot to lose, has it? That's the thing.
So to lose 7 pounds, you've got to lose 7 pounds of. I don't think there's 7 pounds of water weight to lose, so he's going to
Mm,
have to probably lose 7 pounds of muscle or mass somewhere,
yeah,
which is a lot. It's half a stone,
yeah.
like for anyone who doesn't do maths.
Mm,
I don't know how it's going to affect him. Early on, probably won't see a lot of it, but then as you get into the final stretches and the midpoints of the fight, we're probably going to see that make a difference. And
Yeah, and historically he's been, he's the engine. He sticks in the fights. He
Yeah.
works at a high pace and things like that.
Choo choo.
Yeah, but how how that's going to last in a fight where he's not fighting his usual weight, like I say, all the other points. A few concerns for me. Echo's more than capable of going and surprising us a little bit. Um, but yeah, I do think that again the advantages lie with Jack here.
Agreed.
It's his fight to lose, isn't it?
I would say so, yeah. So we do edge with Jack, but best thought to both guys. It's a bit sad because currently all the people that we like, we think are probably going to lose on this card.
Yeah, yeah. We said that this morning as well.
What, we did this morning?
It seems
It's not a horrible case of deja vu.
it seems like we've we've got our preferred fighters actually probably coming out losing in quite a lot of these. Not that way. I like Jack Rafferty as well. Just to be clear, but Echo's a bit more local to us, isn't he?
Lives up road, doesn't it?
Um,
It's up road.
and the last one that we're all going to cover is Liam Cameron, Brad Ray.
We've already
Um,
spoilt it.
well, we sort of spoiled it.
Told them that all our favourites. I mean, then again, they might not know who our favourite is. We could
Our,
be big
our
Brad Ray
favourite is
fans.
Liam Cameron.
Oh fuck.
No, yeah, this fight, another uncertain one, really, but it does feel like Brad Ray's the more clear favourite, doesn't it?
I think so. Liam's a slow starter, notoriously, but he's methodical, got good timing. So I'm not saying that there's not a route to victory, because there is. There's
Yeah,
a better route to victory for Liam than there is Zach Jelly,
yeah,
for starters. I just think, especially since the Whitaker draw, I think Cameron's probably been punching above his weight in regards to his ability.
yeah, a little bit.
Fought Troy Jones, which was a level playing field. I think that was a good competitive fight.
Yep,
Showed he had enough just to sort of win that and did the smarter work. His experience, I think, paid dividends there. Brad Ray's, he's good. He's good. He's not got huge names on his record. He's sort of scattered with journeyman and tomato cans,
mm,
but he has got a win over Shakan Pitters, which was a
mm,
very good win for the EBU title. Lost that title to Lyndon Arthur. Had his moments against Lyndon, as did Liam Cameron when he fought Lyndon. I just think youth, activity, natural size. I just think, generally speaking, it all sort of leans to Brad. And
yeah,
as much as I would love Liam to come through and win again and get himself in a position maybe for the Lyndon Arthur rematch or something,
mm.
I just I just can't see it for this one. I think he's going to get outworked, and I've actually said earlier that I think he might get stopped in this one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know for sure how it's going to play out, but I think we said if you look at the like the Lyndon Arthur fight for both of them, um, obviously both picked up losses there, but I do feel I do feel like Brad Ray was having a fairly competitive, decent fight in there. Obviously, Lyndon's jab and everything. We know we think he's a quality operator anyway, and we sort of know the level he works at. That fringe world level. He's above European level for me. I think he's at fringe
I think so.
world level.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, and to lose to him is no shame. And I think we said that when he lost, Brad Ray will come again. He's got a chance to come again. And I think that this fight is probably um, his opportunity to go, no, I'm better than that, and I want to start looking at bigger names again and trying
Yeah,
to trying to make way through this weight division a little bit back to European level, and beyond if you can.
I think so. And Liam said in an interview the other day, he's not interested in belts. He's not interested in legacy. He's in it now to get paid,
Yeah,
and that's okay. But
yeah,
every
I'm alright with
fighter's
that.
every fighter's in it for their own reason. I just like it when they're honest. I don't like the fighters who go, "I'm all about legacy." I'm not fighting him though because
Mm,
pick your
yeah,
side. Um,
pick a lane. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Liam's in it for the money now, which I think makes a lot of sense at his age. He's 35,
yeah,
so realistically, win or lose, Liam's a character.
yeah.
There'll be good fights for him.
And I think the thing is, he'll keep getting put on cards because he became likable after his Whitaker.
Yeah,
He's very down to earth. He's very quite relatable, I think, to people. And so
he's
he got
Dave
a nice,
Allen. He's Dave Allen, isn't he? In
he's got a
regards to
nice story. He's faced
well,
troubles, as in he's got a story and he accepts his mistakes and things like that. And he's just very human. I think people like that. And I think people will tune in to watch him. Like you say, he's already had losses, so another loss isn't really going to affect him that much. I don't think at this point in his career, he's. I mean, it is Cameron Ray, it's not so much. I think that's more of the name on the card sort of thing. Capture the imagination, not necessarily
Who's the A
who's
side?
the A side. A little bit like we said with Maxi Hughes,
Mm,
really.
yeah.
A bit different for his fight with Sylvester, I think. But yeah, I feel like that's the case for Liam Cameron. I think he's going to keep getting some paydays, make some money out of the sport. People will keep tuning in, and he'll be a good name to be excited about on the card.
I tell you what'll happen, William.
I think he's got a couple more after this, and
This
then
is
he'll
how,
sack in.
yeah, this is how my head looks with it. So how my brain's looking at it. I think he loses, which is okay. And then I think Queensbury's got a contract with Queensbury. I think Queensbury look at him and go, right, you're a B side fighter, but you're a competitive B side who will give it a tough night's work. And I think you look at someone like Ezra Taylor, who's coming off that loss with Elliot
Mm.
Hutchinson,
Yep,
put him in with him,
yep, definitely.
give him rounds, give him some toughness, see if Ezra can come through and do what he did to someone like Steve Woodall, for example,
Yep.
against a Liam Cameron, and get him back getting back in the ring. So yeah, it's a sad fight because I do think Liam's going to lose, but overall, Liam's got his place in the sport, and I think Liam knows his
Yeah,
place.
he's happy with where he's at, isn't he?
100%, yeah. Still
Um,
kicks the shit out of me and you.
you maybe. Um, terrifyingly, this is what we were saying, slightly off topic. Currently, I'm not that far away from being heavy enough to fight Liam
You,
Cameron.
I mean, you could. In all fairness, you could fight at light heavy. I mean, you'd be a light heavy.
Mm,
You'd be weighing in on like fight day at like 169,
yeah, probably.
maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah, but you'd be.
that's a horrible thought.
Why don't you just? I mean, Liam can make 168, so I think we do a catch weight.
No, thank you.
We do a
No,
catch weight.
no, thank
It's
you.
168 pounds.
No, thank you.
Okay.
We're not going to go through all the fights. We're just going to quickly mention Jalalov and Smakiki. They're on there, and Khalil Majid and Gavin Gwynn are also on the card, and we are going to make or share predictions for those fights. So, Tom, if you can remember,
I can
this
remember.
morning,
Yeah, there's no
um,
fights in here that have to and fro, unfortunately.
right, predictions. Dubois, Wardley.
I expect Dubois to stop him.
Yeah. Morel, Chelly.
I expect Morel to stop Chelly.
Yeah. Rafferty, Esserman.
Close fight, tough, awkward, probably scrappy as it gets late. I expect Rafferty to have enough.
Cameron and Brad Ray.
Yeah, a bit of a sad one, I know, but again, I think volume will come into it. I think Brad will probably just work harder and throw more punches, and I think yeah, probably a late stoppage.
Yeah. Jalalov, Smakiki.
Jalalov will dominate. Smekiki's Smekichi, however we pronounce his name, is tough, so I don't know whether he'll stop him, but yeah, it'll be a Jalalov dominance for me.
And then Khalil Majid and Gavin Gwynn.
I think I said this earlier, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to pick any more fighters that I like to lose, so I'm going to go against the grain, and I think Gavin will do enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fight of the night.
Debated it earlier. I think most people expect us to say the heavyweight clash, but I've not changed my mind. I think Rafferty Esserman's going to be a really, really good fight.
Yeah.
I think.
Assuming that Esserman's got that engine to keep coming forward like he does in other fights,
Oh
then
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be good.
If you ask me after the event what my fight of the night will be, it might be different.
Mm.
It's quite regular. We look at fights and go, "Oh, that'll deliver," and it doesn't. And there's
Yeah.
also fights where we go, "It's gonna be crap," and it's like, "Well,
Yeah.
where'd that come from?" You
Yeah.
know, and Crawler, Glenn Byrne,
Yeah.
prime example. Like, so this is boxing, and
Yeah. Fair enough. A card rating.
not going to bore anyone with the details, but I will explain my thought process. You've got a world title up top. You've got someone who's discussed pound for pound, sort of top 15 in David Morrell, who's a brilliant watch, one of the best 175 fighters in the world. Brilliant. You've got fan favourite Zach Chelly on the card now. You've got two-time Olympic gold medalist and Jalalov, absolutely brilliant card. Well, you could probably go higher, but I think a 9 is a fair shout. If the Jared Anderson Solomon Dakers card fight was stayed on the card as well, this would be one of those cards where you go, it's not a can't pick a flaw.
Yeah.
It's got everything as well. It's got multiple weight classes. It's got everything. Absolutely brilliant card of boxing. Fair play to Frank Warren
Yeah. Fair enough.
and Queensbury Promotion.
And the final point is ChatGPT's predictions. So they think Dubois is going to win. think Morel is going to beat Chelly. Fairly safe bet. Esserman to beat Rafferty, though. Shalalov to beat Smekicki, or Smekitsky, whatever it is. Brad Ray to beat Liam Cameron, and Khalil Majid to beat Gavin Gwynn. So a little bit different to us on a few of those.
I'm happy with my predictions.
Yeah. But that is the end of the video. If it hasn't recorded the audio this time, you won't be seeing this because I will have given up completely.
I'll be
So
doing
if
it
you
on
have
my
got to
own.
the end, please give us an extra enthusiastic like on the video because again, we've done this twice now and it's very hot in here. And we will see you on the next video.
See you soon, home slicers.